The Sonic Movie Show is a weekly podcast that you could find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other services like YouTube. Just search for The Sonic Movie Show and give us a like wherever you listen. What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 46 of The Sonic Movie Show, the only show that's about Sonic news, and the occasional Sonic movie news. My name is Ethan, and with me here today is Devin.
Yahoo!
I have no idea what you said because Discord clipped out.
I said Yahoo.
I mean, I guess I'm sure he said that somewhere.
Well, it's funny. It's listed twice on my list here. So it's either
Wow.
either Sonic said it twice, multiple times, or someone else said it as well.
You know, it would be funny. It would be hilarious if that was like one of the sounds he just makes in the game, in one of the games, and so like whatever happened to the person writing the quotes down, it happened to them twice, so they wrote it down a second time.
Like, wait a minute.
He says Yahoo again.
What if that was like
yeah,
Mario? You know how Mario just has his little
Wahoo!
like quips and stuff.
Yeah, efforts they call
Sonic
them
doesn't
in
have a
voice
quip
acting.
in the game. He doesn't say anything. You know what I mean? Maybe he does. I'm saying, like, imagine the classic games. All of a sudden, he's just like Yahoo!
You don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want it.
They
but
did that.
What
They did that with Mario when they ported the early Mario
You said
games on
Yahoo?
Game Boy Advance. When they ported Mario 1, 2, and 3 into Game Boy Advance, they because the Game Boy Advance was so powerful, they actually gave them all voices. So you hear Toad going "Yeah" all the time. Whenever you jump, they all make a sound. Whenever they do any action, they all have something to say, and it's annoying. So we don't want Sonic to do that. It'll make the games even worse.
But Sonic talks all the time now, though.
You know what? And that's,
Maybe
the
we
kids
hate
love
it.
him.
We hate it.
The kids love him, and Sega loves him. Today we're going to be talking about some big Sega news, and just a nice, a fun episode. We had a really action-packed news episode last week, so we have a little bit of news this week, and then just some speculative fun stuff, as well as wrapping up the show with our Sonic book, which it's dubious if it's legal or not, but we're going to pretend that it's not, or that it is. That's good. That we're good.
Yes. No jail.
We don't have any rights.
Can't go to jail if I say no jail.
No jail.
No jail.
You have to tell me if you're a cop. But
Sure.
yes,
You're
our sole giant news for the week is about Sega and just their general sales as far as their business goes. So Sega is a giant video game conglomeration, this giant corporation, right? And like many of the big names that are out there, they've purchased a lot of companies. They have a lot of studios, have a lot of teams, giant payroll, right? A lot of projects going on at once, and not everything can be done at once. They have to pick and choose what do we want to do, right? And I say all this stuff because oftentimes Sega or Sonic fans are like, why isn't Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed on Switch, on PS4? Like, just make them even more HD. What are you doing? That's a project that they need to set aside a team for, and would that make money, etc.
Because they're bad.
Sega is, I mean, well, those are actually not bad. They're
Nope.
okay.
Hey, I have to be the one Sonic fan who just hates everything. Like, do you actually like Sonic, Devin?
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Like, I can hear the angry tweets already. Maybe we'll get another 1-star review. This guy doesn't actually like Sonic.
Sonic haters.
But yeah, often you see that in other Japanese companies where they're like, why don't you do a remake of this or just port this? And you're like, it just won't sell. We don't think it'll sell. A Sega port recently made a lot of sales and has made Sega reconsider how they differentiate budget to ports, remakes, etc. In June of 13? No. June 13th
June
of
of 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
June of 2020.
2 months ago, Sega ported Persona 4 Golden, the PlayStation Vita exclusive redo of the PlayStation 2 exclusive Japanese role-playing game. As essentially, Golden was like, we added an extra character, there are some more events going on, and it's just general quality of life stuff. We made the RPG better, etc., or whatever. They ported that PlayStation Vita exclusive, which came out in 2012. I had it, I loved it, never beat it because it's stupidly long. They put it on Steam, PC, just Steam. I'm pretty sure it's just for Windows too, not even on Mac. Just Steam, right? In June. within a month, it had sold 500,000 copies, which is more than it sold in Japan on Vita in 8 years.
That's amazing.
Sega has decided, hey, this is something we might. Excuse me. Sega has decided, hey, this is something we should do, like with a lot of games. So, you've never really played too many Persona games, Devin.
None. I've never touched a Persona game. I have a general idea of what it is, and
which is hilarious because your username, Cursona,
yes,
is based off Persona.
Yeah.
A mutual friend of ours gave that title to you because now it's to you. At the time, it was for all of us, but we all left.
I stole it.
You're the only one that clings on to childhood past, just wanting this thing that could not happen. He based it off Persona. He's what it's Cursona.
Yes,
because he calls that picture
curse,
the curse.
Dude.
Yes. Which is hilarious to me that your
part
of your
of
namesake
part
comes
of me
from.
wants to not play it just for that, just to keep that like.
I mean, it's
that. Or is that going to be part of the journey?
People are going to disagree with me.
Is that part of the journey? You know.
I guess people will disagree with me, but I don't necessarily think you're missing too much if you don't play a Persona game. Personally, they're good quality RPGs. They have a lot of good, interesting stuff going on.
I'm more interested in the dating part.
See, that's one of the weakest things, in my opinion.
Really?
It's just really weird that it's always a male character that you play as, although
That's
in
bullshit.
one of the, I don't know what I want to call these, editions of Persona 3 that they put on PSP, called Persona 3 Portable, or P3P, which I have, and it's Persona 3 is my favorite one. There was, I think once you beat the game, you can then play it again as a new character that's a woman, but it's not necessarily just a gender swapping. It's like, this is a different person.
Different storyline?
Generally the same storyline. I never did that, but like, it considered a hard mode, and like all the people that you can date are all the guys this time around, and it's a kind of different story, but they consider it the same kind of fate. But like, for all of the women, you can date, and you can date them all at once, and then they can all just get mad at you, but then you still gotta save the world anyway, so it doesn't really affect much. Like, there's a lot of systems in Persona. Getting jobs, having a part-time job as a high school kid,
that sucks.
Completely useless. Never did that.
Also in real life.
Yes, in real life. Don't have a job as a kid. Don't have a job as an adult.
Embrace your time as a kid, because once you get a job, it's over. That's it. I've said this before.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I can redo, to never get a job.
Dude, I was actually having this talk today because my brother's 16 and he's going to be getting a car. And I'm like, the life before having a car, if I really think about it, was a life before responsibility. You know what I mean? Like, you have the freedom, but like, I could have just driven my mom's car, and I did. And I had no responsibility. It's just, man, let's just spend the rest of the episode talking about how being an adult sucks. Being 25. But I think Persona games are great. I think they're overrated in terms of how gamers handle them. But I think they're very good games, and there's a reason why they have such a reverence. And it's also kind of fitting because Persona 4 Golden was what reintroduced the series to the West, because it came out at an advantageous time when a bunch of Western gamers really wanted something on Vita, and hey, here's a game in the first year of a system's launch instead of the 8th. Because that's Persona. Yeah, Persona 4 came out in 2008, and that the PlayStation 2 came out in 2000. So 8 years after the system came out, here's your game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the Westerners really loved Persona 4 Golden. I liked it a lot. It sold very well in America, and of course it's going to sell well in Steam because the mystique of this franchise. You know, Persona 5 sold really well. I think that game is completely up its own ass, personally, as opposed to Persona 3 and 4. Let's not talk about this.
No, the only thing I wanted to add into that was, the only reason I'm interested in the dating part of it is because as a kid I had Thrillville on PSP, and there was a very, very mild like dating element to that. Basically, you just kiss girls, or if you're a girl, I think you kiss dudes as well. And I want to say, like, I remember as a kid, just I was like, any person, I was like, boom, I'm going to try to kiss him. I just want to see if I can do that in that kind of game.
Damn.
I want to kiss everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, director of the Persona games, up through Persona 5, he's no longer there, as well as like any of the main key people that worked with him that are a part of his like posse. Very homophobic, transphobic, etc. And some of that stuff does pop through. There is a gay panic series of scenes in Persona 4 that are not cool. I think Persona 4 has really good themes about like, no matter who you want to be as a person, the person that you are always were deep down inside, you can't completely throw that away. It's a compromise between the two, who you want to be and who you always were. You can be who you want to be, but you can't throw away who you always were, etc. And how they treat that with the character going through identity of gender and what's the term for, I guess sexuality, I guess would be what I mean, is not very cool when it comes down. No, you're not gay, you just like knitting. It's like, that's not cool. That sucks. Like it doesn't have to be the fact that
also though too is a cultural difference. I mean we're getting I don't want to stray too far, but just like, you know, like sexuality, gender, all those things I feel like are in different phases of acceptance in certain cultures.
For sure.
I don't know anything, like I'm not from Japan, so I can't really speak from Japan, but it might be totally different over there. You know what I mean? So it's not as
from
taboo.
what I have heard, our
Not
generation,
taboo, just...
our age over there is accepting, is cool. It is that director's.
Okay. I wasn't sure, but
like it's, you know, I mean, like that. They also did, that team also did a game called Catherine, which is a very cool concept, an awesome idea for a story.
That's another game I wanted to play, but
so transphobic, it's like insulting. Like a character, like. Do we want to talk? Do you want me to talk about that game, or can we?
It's fine. We don't have to.
Okay. I mean, I can, but it all depends on you. But no, like
I remember you telling me about it before, so I don't want to.
Okay, yeah. I mean, when you say that the happy ending is that, oh, this trans person, if they never went trans, they would be happier. If they never went trans, as if that's how that works. You know what I mean? They would live a happier life. That's not very cool, dude. So, but the games are cool, and it's not just one person that makes them. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, same token, like it's not Kojima that makes the Metal Gear games awesome. It's not him alone. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's good reasons to buy Persona. You don't need to boycott just because of those.
Kojima dating game?
But you can if you want.
Kojima dating game?
He definitely really likes women with effeminate names like Quiet, Mama, Fragile.
There must be there's something deeper in there. We need to, like, someone needs to do their own podcast series on just Kojima.
Who the fuck is Kojima?
Who the fuck is Kojima? Just like,
that's the title.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Kojima? So if you're listening to this,
maybe we should do that.
We might actually do it, so don't steal it. But
ooh, that is a good idea. If we literally be aggressive in the titling, and like we want to understand who the fuck this person even is. You know what I mean? Like, this guy loves movies so much. Even bad movies. He never has anything bad to say about any movie. But at the same time, he's known for video games. Doesn't have any video game opinions at all. He'll tweet whenever he's given a video game as a gift. By
God of War.
Oh, yeah, the director, Sony Santa Monica sent me over this gift. Thanks, guys. And that's it. We don't even know if he played it. You know what I mean? That's why there was someone did a series of fake tweets that was him tweeting about playing SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom remake or whatever.
Yeah. And
going into detail being like, I really love the gameplay. SpongeBob reminds me of myself as a kid, and Squidward reminds me of myself as an adult. It's great. And then the next tweet is a picture of Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2, and it's him saying, played The Last of Us Part 2. And that's it. It's just, you know what I mean? And so that was fake, but that is so kind of how he is. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah. Maybe we'll come back to this as a mini series we could do in the future. Who the fuck is Kojima?
We'll go exactly. What are your opinions,
sir?
You like everything, but you also don't understand everything or anything.
That's why he's a god, dude.
Exactly.
That's why he's from another realm.
It reminds me so much of Nintendo. Like, they used to never look at what anyone else was doing in video games, and when they would make something, it came from a genuine, like, series of thoughts that were only their own. They never looked and see how are they doing this because we want to do something similar. It's like, nope, they came up with their own stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, Kojima. Nothing wrong with you being you. So in any case, Persona 5 or 4 sold really well, so Sega might do other ports. I have the quote here. And basically, they're going to just see it as it goes, but I'll read the full quote from no particular executive, it says, is just from Sega, but I'll read it for you. The games received high score in the review site. This is poorly translated.
I was going to say already, this is either bad grammar or poorly translated.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was by whoever sent the copy over from Japan. And the sales prices were also low. It was like a $20 game, which, I mean, that's what I would expect. Sales were significantly higher than expected. Going forward, we intend to aggressively promote the porting of previously launched titles to Steam and other new platforms.
Epic
so
Games.
Hopefully,
Epic Games exclusive.
I mean, yes. I mean, probably.
That'd make the gamers so mad. I would love it.
I mean, Hitman 3 is going to be exclusive on
I have
Epic
my dream
Games Store for a
scenario.
year.
After you finish this quote, I have my dream scenario I want to share with you.
Okay. When we did our episode titled "Make Our Sonic Game," we talked about my dream scenario, PS5 game. Let me get back here. Okay, so we intend to aggressively promote the porting of previously launched titles to Steam and other new platforms. For new titles in the future, we are negotiating with the first parties per title and is considering ways to sell them on favorable terms. Under such direction, we would like to take multi-platform rollout into account and prepare this PC version and others from the start. I think basically what that means is, like, you know how a lot of games are like PlayStation exclusive, but then they're also on PC? Yeah. And I don't mean games made by Sony, but like Neo is a good example. Team Ninja made their own Souls-like games. The Ninja Gaiden team made their own Dark Souls type of game. It's on PC and PS4, and that's it. You know what I mean? Because they don't consider that a direct competitor. I think this is what they mean of like, hey, if we're gonna be an exclusive with you guys, we also kind of want to be on Epic Games Store. You know what I mean? And Steam. So, because the gamers love their anime.
Yeah.
What's your dream scenario? What do you think about this? This plan?
If we're talking about possible PC ports, this isn't really a port. This would be a remake. So Sonic Adventure 2. People love Sonic Adventure 2, especially Sonic the Hedgehog subreddit, which I lurk. I lurk in the shadows because I can't host a Sonic podcast and not like know what the fans are thinking about Sonic. You know what I mean? So I'm always lurking on there. And I will say, I think Sonic Adventure 2 is the subreddit's favorite game. I think. Just from me lurking. And I personally think that game isn't all that great because played it. We both played it together.
It is within my top 20 favorite games of all time. I give that game a 6 out of 10. You can love a bad game.
Yes.
And I love that bad game.
Yes, it has moments where it's good bad, but there's also times where it's bad in my opinion. Where I'm just like, in the PC port on Steam was rough.
At least for you, it was terrible.
It was real rough.
Yeah.
But my dream would be they remake that, but they remove the first level, and it's on Epic Games Store.
So they get rid of the most famous level in Sonic, probably more so than Green Hill Zone, to be honest.
Yes.
Because people love City Escape. People don't really care.
They make it like a
cutscene.
That's like their thing. They're like they don't totally get rid of it. They just make it like the opening credits.
It's a gameplay video of someone playing through it badly, not doing the loops correctly. You know what I mean? Like, and then you play the next level.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I want that, and then it's on Epic Games Store, and like that would just piss everybody.
Salt in the wounds.
But the game winds up being good though, and then like that'll question. This will be a question for Sonic fans. Do you actually like Sonic Adventure 2, or do you just like the first level, and that masks the rest of the game?
I mean,
take away that level. Take away that level.
I'm going to speak for my. Well, I like. Okay, if you're asking me this question, what levels do I like? I like City Escape. Devin and I can see each other, obviously, so he can see how many fingers I'm holding up.
It's one.
I like City Escape. I like Sonic's second level, Metal Harbor.
It's not bad, yeah.
I like the first two Tails levels, which is Prison Escape or Prison Lane, and Rumble Highway, Mission Street.
The one where you're driving.
I forget what it's called. No, before that. But it is the driving's okay. It's weird. There is no cap to the speed you can go in reverse. So all the speed runs have them flip around immediately, and Tails just drives backwards the whole time, gaining speed forever. This is funny. It's a weird little logic thing. They didn't decide to cap how fast you can go backwards. I hate all the Knuckles stuff because it's not fun.
The Death Chamber level, I remember, like, still to this day, gives me. I get so nauseous just thinking about it. The frame, like,
it was just so lost and confusing. I like
the frames were
basically.
Rough
I like
rough,
all of the Sonic and I like all of the Shadow levels.
Yeah. So
I like 1/3 of that game, but, and this is true for every 3D Sonic game and maybe even every Sonic game period. There is. We talked about our listen. It's like episode 20 something or 30 something. It's called Make Our Sonic Game, where we talk about what we like and don't like from Sonic games, and what our dream Sonic games would be if we were to each make our own. And I talk about how there is not a good curve from the levels in terms of difficulty, because they're always adding in new shit and taking away shit. Each level is his own series of new mechanics and stuff to learn, that it's not like Mario and that you can have a nice difficulty curve, but then they still make each level harder than the last. And it's like as if you're playing a new game every single time. It's not good. Make them all the same difficulty level, right? So speaking from personal experience, and as far as what I know from other Sonic fans, people really only like the first 1 or 2 levels from any Sonic game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Remove the best level, but the game is good. But people just get so pissed that they don't play it.
It's even Sonic Generations picked 9 Sonic games and did the memorable level from each. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5, definitely 6, almost 7. Pretty much almost every single one of those levels is from the game it's from is within the first 3 levels. You know what I mean? Like, the most memorable level is always from the first 3.
It's like a band, like a mediocre band putting an album together. Like, we have 3 great songs and we have like 5 fillers. Let's just at least put the 3 in the front, because no one's going to make it through to the end to hear that our one better song. You know what I mean? So let's just stack it in the front. But like, I just think it'd be hilarious, just with like Sonic's history in terms of video games, that like, there's been a lot of bad Sonic games, and like you said, we have a couple good levels maybe here and there. I just think it'd be funny that we finally get like a fantastic Sonic game, but they remove the thing that people love about Sonic, the bad Sonic games, and it's gonna be on Epic Game Store, just to like put the knife a little bit in the wound.
My question to you, Devin, is that monkey's paw of a wish worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you told me right now, hey Devin, they're remaking Sonic Adventure 2, but the first level won't be
the iconic thing, the thing that you actually like from that game, is gone, but everything else is going to be amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Like Mario Odyssey level, great. Okay.
In a heartbeat.
Okay. Now, what if I told you that game is Sonic Forces and not an adventure?
Sonic Forces 2? I think that's also a possibility.
Oh, God.
I don't think so, but it probably would be called something else. But just a game just like that is a possibility.
Sonic Reforces. Sonic End Forces.
Yeah. No, I think we'll get, if we get a Sonic remake, though, I think it'll be a Sonic Adventure. I don't think it'll be Sonic Adventure 2.
I agree, exactly. So this is going to be our big topic for the show. Are they ever going to, and this is all speculative, there is nothing,
we have no leaks or...
No, nothing. I've never seen any reports or rumors besides just general stuff like this, where like, well, they want to. Sonic is literally their mascot. Now, granted, Sega Sammy is in the official title. You know, it's kind of like Bandai Namco and Square Enix. Like, it's not Sega itself anymore. Sammy is another giant part of it. There's other things, not even video game related, that are from them. But Sega or Sonic is still the mascot. Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2, probably more so too, obviously, according to your Reddit, our generation's Sonic game. It's not the originals. Those are the 80s babies Sonic games.
Yes.
Those are the better Sonic games for the most part, but they're not what Sonic is, you know what I mean?
Anymore,
As far as like, and obviously as far as children are concerned, Sonic is the cartoon and mobile games, and they probably played Mania and Forces 3 years ago. 3 years ago. You know what I mean? How many kids got...
Yeah.
It was 2017.
Dude, it's crazy.
Sonic Forces came out like the same month as Mario Odyssey. Think about that. Think about the quality difference there.
Do you think, but quick side note, now you're saying that like, 80s kids played the originals. Sonic Adventure 2 is our Sonic. Even though it's funny though, when my first Sonic game I played was
2.
Was 2 on it's so fuzzy and so far back in time, but I'm pretty sure it's a Sega Genesis. That's what my brain is telling me.
It could have been a Master System.
It could have been, but I'm pretty sure.
They did make 8-bit versions of those Sonic games for the Master System for some for whatever reason.
Yeah, but I did play one of the OG ones, so to me that's like when I always thought of Sonic until I played Sonic Adventure 2, but that's now what I think of Sonic. But it's funny is I think I'm starting to like look at like the movie Sonic as the Sonic now, but how much is that just recency bias? But think about all the kids who watch just the Sonic movie and haven't played the games yet. That there's going to be those group of kids out there.
And think about it. The last Sonic game, now granted we are discounting Sonic Team Racing or Sonic Racing Team Sonic Racing.
Whatever.
Sonic Racing game. I hate when logos do the thing where there's a big word and then there's small words above and below it, and you aren't sure which
Team Sonic Racing.
Team Sonic Racing.
Jesus Christ.
So I don't know if we want to consider that game because that is a racing game, but it's still Sonic is more of just a mascot than necessarily a gameplay type. You know what I mean? But if we ignore that, the last Sonic game on console and PC came out 3 years ago. How many children, especially with the Nintendo Switch, got into gaming since then and have not played that? They need a new Sonic game, you know what I mean? So like the next Sonic game has to if any child that latches on to Sonic will do so in the next Sonic game, and that will shape what they think Sonic is.
Yeah.
And if they do another bad game, we're just going to repeat the cycle of irony lore. It's playing Sonic, you know what I mean, for the sake of having a meme, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do agree with you that if they were to ever remake a Sonic game, it would be Sonic Adventure.
I think that would sell well.
There are various reasons why.
I think that would also just sell well.
It would sell well for us, for our generation, for sure. Also, the fact that is, like, Sonic, you could make a very good argument, one that I will mostly agree with, that none of the early Sonic games are actually good. You can make that argument. I think there's way more good things in them per capita, percentage-wise, than the games that came later, for sure. So as an overall, there's more good things in them, but you can argue that they're not good. But for all intents and purposes, Sonic Adventure is the first bad Sonic game. First, like, our next big Sonic game, and it's terrible, guys. It's just absolutely terrible. So it has that mystique about it, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Which I think would be even
obviously
more
Adventure
incredible
2
if they did a remake, and it wound up being, like, even good. Like, it doesn't have to be great. Just if it was good, that'd be, like, a win. You know what I mean? A heroic return.
And there's different contexts to that, too. Like, when we say remake, what do we mean? So if we look at, like, what Activision's been doing, they've remade, and they're continuing to remake a bunch of their classic IP. They remade the 3 PS2 Crash Bandicoot games. I never played that remake trilogy because I didn't really play those games as a kid, but that sold insanely well. It came out in either June or July of that year, and it came out 3 days before that month ended. Okay? 3 days before that month ended. Best-selling game of that month was that Crash Bandicoot thing. And it continued to top the charts for that entire summer into the fall. It sold insanely well, which made them want to do the Spyro trilogy remake, which also sold really well. And then they did Crash Team Racing remake, and now the studio that did the Crash Bandicoot trilogy remake, they're doing the Tony Hawk remake. And all of these are just straight graphical remakes. We see with THQ Nordic, their hodgepodge of bargain bin IP that they bought in the fire sale. They're doing a graphical remake of a SpongeBob game, a graphical remake of a Destroy All Humans games that have very niche appeal and nostalgically tug at certain people like you and me from that certain era, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Destroy All Humans sucks, but we really liked it, you know what I mean?
Kids,
like that's why, you know, these are selling really well. People are seeing that these are, or companies are seeing these as easy ways to make money. Sega is obviously looking at that and be like, okay, this time frame, late 90s to mid 2000s, those are easy to do graphical remakes of. We don't have to do too much to make the game quote unquote better. Like, for what all I know, the Spyro and Crash remakes were just graphical. I played the Spyro trilogy on PS4 and I platinumed all 3 games. But I don't really, it's not like I had the PS1 versions next to me to compare, but like, for all I know, they just straight up remade what that game was just graphically, and the game played exactly the same. I'm sure it controlled a little better, smoothing on turns and, you know, whatever, little quality of life stuff, but like, it didn't have structural problems like Sonic Adventure does. So, like, if they do that, the game's still gonna be bad because it's just the way it's set up is terrible.
It has to be
most of the gameplay's terrible.
7 remake level, I feel like, of just
where it's just not even a remake; it's just a reimagining.
Yeah,
let's take the concepts, the characters,
the source
the ideas,
material, and just
spice do it again.
Yeah, spice it up a bit.
Exactly. A graphical remake won't cut it. So what you're saying is like, if the game that is always known to be the terrible Sonic game, even though plenty have come afterwards that are bad, the first terrible Sonic game the remake ends up being good. If it's just a straight graphical remake and it's actually decent, then that is like a miracle, because how did they pull that off? Like, I honestly can't look at it and say, yes, if they do a graphical remake of it, they would have to cut so much shit. Honestly, you would just get rid of so much shit. Just like, instead of this world town that you walked through, instead just because like Sonic Adventure 2 was just a level select, because the first game had like an open world you ran through to find your levels and talk to people that don't want to talk to Sonic. It's essentially, everyone hated him. You know, like, there's a scene where he showers in a casino. Like, they would have to, I would honestly think, cut that shit out and just make a level select. And people are going to bitch and complain, you know, so like, I don't know.
But I think that'd be a small minority of people who complain about that shit. People just want, I want a good game. That's all I want. I don't give a fuck
if that's what it takes.
I don't give a fuck if it's just like you said, I don't want it to be just a graphic upgrade, because if it's still bad, it's not going to be fun. I don't want to be sitting through it being like, oh my god, why am I playing this unironically?
And even the gameplay isn't all that good. Like, you and I played about 2 hours, I would say, each of another PS1 graphical remake game called Medieval. And that game is just not a good game.
It doesn't play well. It feels
Crash
outdated.
Bandicoot played well. Spyro played well. Tony Hawk played amazing. That Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on PlayStation 1 is the second highest rated game of all time, after The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Sits at a 9.9 on Metacritic. Like, the game plays amazing. The remake is going to play amazing. Just because you could do a graphical remake of an old game doesn't mean it's going to be fun. You know what I mean? And that game proved it. Medieval proved that. No, this game still sucks. It looks pretty. It looks like a cartoony, spooky, fun spooky.
Yeah. I love Halloween. And like, I was just like, man, it just feels like I'm playing a PS2 PlayStation 1 game. Just like the movement, it just didn't. And then like the combat was weird and wonky at moments, where I was just like, it felt bullshit at times where I got hit and I'm like, how did I get hit?
Yeah. But playing the Spyro trilogy and then playing Shadow of the Colossus's graphical remake on PS4, like, it's not exactly a straight graphical remake, but that game, those two games both feel like, if you didn't know they were remakes, you wouldn't think that they were old games, because they still feel like they play like modern games.
Yeah.
Medieval sucks. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 suck. You can't do it. And I think that's where Sega would come up with, like, okay,
so
our budget of a graphical remake would be small, if we need to actually retool the game, then this is going to be as if we're making just a brand new Sonic game. So that's going to be an actual full project budget. And I think that there's going to be more pause for concern there about if they want to continue. I think that if you were to pitch to me right now, Devin, we're your Sonic team.
Okay.
And you come up to me and you're like, here is our proposal for the next new Sonic game. Full budget, blah blah blah, next big Sonic game, and then you also pitch to me, Sega executive, a full budgeted Sonic 1 remake, like full remake, like again, the levels are all going to be the same ideas and stuff, just like how Sonic Generations did it. You know what I mean? Like and you pitched to me, and I had to pick between the two. I'd probably pick Adventure because I know that there's a nostalgia thing, and then it's also a new Sonic game anyway, so it's going to get the money. You're going to be double dipping.
Yeah.
So, but that's still going to be like a giant project, and I don't know if that's what I don't know.
It's also old enough, though, too, that like if you call it Sonic Adventure and don't even throw a remake on there, just say Sonic Adventure, how many people are really going to know? Like the average...
Kids, yeah. How many kids? No.
No. They don't give a fuck. Just... call it Sonic Adventure again.
Sonic Adventure again.
And then again, and that'll be like the big Sonic fans will know, as long like you tell them, hey, this is gonna be a remake, they'll know. But then you can just market it as just the new big Sonic game, and then that way, like hopefully, you get the nostalgia people to be the backbone of your sales, but then you also get the average family folk who buy it. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, there's a lot of families out there who just see Sonic, buy the game, they're like, here you go, kid. On my flight to Montana, I texted you. Some little girl had a Switch in front of me, like the seat in front of me, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what she's going to play. And of fucking course, it was Sonic 2 or something like that. And I was just like, of course it is. Like, this podcast has become more part of my life than I could have ever imagined. That like I'm constantly reminded of Sonic the Hedgehog wherever I go.
To your point about a remake of a game, like an actual full remake of a game, graphical or not, and just titling it what the original game's title was and what people know, coming for PlayStation 5 is the Demon's Souls remake.
How many people know that it's a remake?
I would say a good 70% of people would not know. They would just think that that's a new game. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting to them, like...
I'm interested, and I probably won't buy it, but because I'm scared of the difficulty, but it looks dope as hell. It looks like something up my alley, but...
I tried the original because it was a PlayStation Plus game at one point, and I did not have a good time, but I am going to give it my all this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna blame it on me not trying to want to like it back then. But, yeah, so, I mean...
Well, can we talk about quickly, though, like... Not just outside of Sonic, what Sega games aren't on Steam yet? Because I know there is Sonic games on Steam. You know what I mean? Like Sonic Adventure 2.
I think almost
Sonic
all
Adventure
Sonic games are on Steam.
I was going to say,
I don't think Sonic Unleashed is on Steam. Sonic Colors is not on Steam.
Sonic Forces?
That I don't know.
Let me
Sonic
look.
Lost World is on Steam. That was a Wii U exclusive that then came to Steam. Kind of like what we were talking about, console exclusive, also comes to PC anyway. Lost World is not good. Sonic 1, 2, 3,
Sonic
Knuckles,
Forces is on
CD.
Steam. $40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's puzzle.
There's the Sonic the Hedgehog Ultimate Bundle, which is $196 on Steam.
Jesus.
And it has. Let me look.
Is Sonic?
Can I just open bundle info? Thank you. Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, Sonic 3D Blast, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Sonic Spinball,
Puyo.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, Sonic CD, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformer Collection, Sonic Lost World, Sonic Generations Collection, Sonic Mania, Sonic Forces, Team Sonic Racing, and Sonic Mania Encore DLC, $196. But
so there's no Colors and there's no Unleashed. There's no Sonic 2006, which I don't even think they would be able to port that game at all. Straight up, I think you would end up having to do so much work to get it to run that you would end up just be making a new game in the process. You accidentally make something else.
Yeah, those aren't on there. I just double checked.
But basically everything is on PC. I think it's
So
just
it's got to be
in
one of
terms
those
Sega
would
in
have
general.
to come to PC. But would those sell as well as a Persona game?
No, not in the slightest.
No one cares if Sonic Colors dropped, I think, tomorrow.
No. There are plenty of Sega and Sega Sammy, I guess, but there's a lot of Atlas stuff. Really, what they're saying in that quote is they're talking about Atlas's lineage of extremely well-known RPGs that are inaccessible in various forms. Lots of good Shin Megami Tensei games that are trapped on ancient platforms. Shin Megami Tensei 3, which was a PS2 game, is getting a HD port to PS4 and Switch. I don't know if that's coming to PC. So that's part of that kind of thing. Like, they're really kind of looking at what are people actually dying to play that they can't play on modern things, and we'll make a bunch of money off that. I don't think that they're seeing anything Sonic related, because like when they brought Sonic Lost World to Steam, I'm sure that sold like shit, and that was a Wii U exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, if you had a PS4, you weren't playing that game. If you have PC, you don't want to play that game. So I don't know.
When is the earliest you think we'll get a new Sonic game, though, in general, remake or not? I feel like it's
next year. I mean, it's been 3 years since Sonic Team came out with a game.
I mean, Team Sonic
Did
Racing.
Did they make Team Sonic Racing?
It
will tell you if you click the developer page, right?
Sumo Digital.
Okay, yeah. So no, not them.
I mean, in this pandemic, though, like, that's gonna slow things down if they were working on one.
I think they had said something about next year being the next big Sonic thing.
But they also said they were supposed to get Sonic news every month.
Right.
And that hasn't happened.
Let's see. I'm going to list off every game that Sonic Team has ever made. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Rystar, Nights into Dreams, which we talked about a couple episodes ago, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Jam, Sonic R, Burning Rangers, Sonic Adventure, Choo Choo Rocket, which is awesome, Samba de Amigo, which is awesome, Phantasy Star Online, Sonic Cafe.
Wait, what?
It's a 2001 Japanese mobile game.
Oh man, we missed out.
Okay. Sonic Adventure 2, Puyo Pop, Sonic Advance, which was okay, Sonic Mega Collection, Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Spinball Party, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, which was a hilarious GameCube game, and I say that ironically, Puyo Pop Fever, Phantasy Star Online, blah blah blah, Sonic Battle, which was a Game Boy Advance, like, it was terrible, Astro Boy, PS2, Sonic Advance 3, Sega Superstars, Feel the Magic, Sonic Gems Collection, The Rub Rabbits.
Okay, some of these titles are weirdly sensual. I don't know how I feel about that.
Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Rush,
How does Shadow the Hedgehog
Fever
remake?
2. They're so trying to do like a Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, let's
kind
do
of
it.
3D platformer with guns.
Let's do it. PS5 exclusive with Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my god.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Unlockable. Yeah. Sonic Riders, which was a racing game where they were on hoverboards, which is bad. Something called Jukukan. Phantasy Star Universe. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, that's the 2016. Sorry.
Yeah.
I forget that it's officially titled that, not Sonic 06. Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for Game Boy Advance. Puyo Puyo 15th Anniversary, Sonic and the Secret Rings for Wii. Onsen Kaiju Sokietsu Korokoro Scan, Sonic Rush Adventure, Knight's Journey of Dreams for Wii, which is terrible. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, Phantasy Star Portable, Sonic Unleashed, which in Japan was called Sonic's World Adventure. And I think they didn't want to have adventure in the name because it's not like a Sonic Adventure game. So that's why they changed it to Sonic Unleashed. Sonic and the Black Knight, Puyo Puyo 7, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, Sonic Free Riders for Xbox 360, you used the Kinect this time, Sonic Colors, Puyo Puyo 20th Anniversary, Sonic Generations, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, Sonic
like
Lost
Half-Life.
World. They were bad. They were really bad, Sonic 4. That's why Sonic Mania pretends that Sonic 4 never happened. Sonic Runners for mobile, Puyo Puyo Chronicles, Sonic Forces, and Puyo Puyo Champions, which is kind of like a mobile thing. So their last real game was 3 years ago. So yes, they've been working on a game for 3 years. They've also been working on Sonic Forces for 4 years. So
I guess you could argue 2022 then. That's what I was saying. Honestly, I think we won't get until 2022 a new Sonic game.
I think I could have sworn there was. I could have sworn there was a quote. About Sonic the Hedgehog coming out in 2021. Okay, so this is this fake? There's a wiki page about it's called Sonic the Hedgehog, this game for Nintendo Switch 2021. And it's got like a full history about the development for a game that's not, but like this is all fake, right? It's got a plot synopsis.
What's the plot synopsis say?
In Dr. Eggman's lab, the evil doctor is expressing his plans to collect all the Chaos Emeralds. He reveals that every time he tries to overthrow the planet Mobius, Sonic the Hedgehog always ruins his plans. This time, to stop Sonic from interrupting him, Eggman begins creating a robot called Metal Sonic to distract his nemesis, while Eggman can peacefully collect the emeralds. But to do that, he needs Sonic's DNA to complete Metal Sonic. Meanwhile, in Green Hill Zone, Sonic the Hedgehog is reaching new speeds while being monitored by Tails and Amy in their plane. After fighting off with some Eggman robots, they discover the purple Chaos Emerald. Before they can grab it, it gets stolen by Eggman, who escapes. Sonic tries chasing after Eggman, but he flies away into the sky. Tails reveals that he can locate the location of the other Chaos Emeralds, the next being in the temple in the Marble Zone. Once they arrive, they're being greeted by Vector the Crocodile, Espio the Chameleon, and Charmy the Bee, also known as Team Chaotix. The Chaotix bring Sonic and Amy inside where he finds the red Chaos Emerald is. While Tails waits outside staying guard, Sonic grabs the emerald, but while leaving, Tails reveals that there are multiple Eggman robots headed towards Marble Zone. After fighting them off, Sonic leaves, but not before E123 Omega shows up. After being defeated while collecting some of Sonic's DNA under the fight, E123 Omega sends away the DNA to Dr. Eggman.
I'm good.
Sonic team say goodbye to the...
You don't need to know anymore.
This is all fake.
That's way too specific. It's not.
Let me read like the beginning of what this article is. Sonic the Hedgehog, and then a bunch of Japanese shit. That sounded racist, sorry. Is a platform video game in the Sonic the Hedgehog series made as a reboot. It was developed by Insomniac and Sonic Team and published by Sega. It was released. It was released Sonic's 30th anniversary on June 23rd, 2021 for PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The Sonic the Hedgehog.
Did Nostradamus write this article? Because it's saying it like as it's fact, like, yup, it released on 2021.
It's saying Insomniac helped make this game. They're owned by Sony now. As of 2 years ago, last year.
No, I think isn't it earlier?
Beginning development after Sonic Mania, which was not made by Sonic Team, Sonic the Hedgehog was meant to be a reboot of the series and was intended to take elements that people had praised in the preceding adventure titles, and bring Sonic back to his roots. He has no roots. Nothing pointed more to the idea of reusing the game to celebrate what made Sonic the Hedgehog for the most famous hedgehog in the world than naming the game after the first in the series. However, instead of keeping things simple, Sonic Team 8 come up with numerous ideas they wanted to include and make the game ultimate Sonic experience. The advertising of Sonic the Hedgehog was first announced at the E3 convention of June 2019. No. At the 2020 Tokyo Game Show convention, which hasn't even happened yet. It was revealed the
If this starts happening, by the way, we have to find the author and be like, what else happens in 2021, dude? This is the pandemic end? Because this person who wrote it is either... This is like a weird fanfic thing. Like, it's not even fanfic, though. It's just like, I want this to happen, so I'm going to write it as if it did happen. All that's so
all
weirdly
the comments
specific.
are like, this is so awesome. Well,
what website?
Skipping that.
Can you give me the link to this?
This was on Fandom, which is a shitty-ass website that milks its writers dry, but I'll send it to you. Copy.
Well, maybe the writer was just like, whatever.
No, this is like just a random fan wrote this. This isn't someone that works at Fandom.
The cover is trash. If that was the real cover, it's bad.
Well,
Half of it's blurry.
It's because they're using other renders that already exist.
Dang, this sounds really cool. Hope you continue this. Looks really good so far. Wait. So it's this fan fiction, like I said.
Okay, so here's
I hope
the
you
quote.
end the article.
This is an article from Game Informer, so an actual reputable game news site.
Yes, thank you.
This is from 2019 of June, so this is 2 years old, or 1 year old. Jesus, dates, man. Headline is, Sonic Team says 2021 is the next big year for Sonic.
I hope I'm wrong.
Okay,
I just think it's going to be 2020.
2017 was a big year for Sonic. Izuka says, the next big year for Sonic is 2021. That's the 30th anniversary for Sonic. We are now preparing. Yeah. So that's it. But it makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you got to remember the pandemic
4 years later
throws a wrench into all this. It could easily be. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. My worst fear is that they try to rush it out anyways, and then
it's going to be bad. You might as well get it to us soon. But most Japanese companies were not set up well for work from home at all. So like lots of major Japanese companies just have nothing. Like Smash Brothers, I know development on that game for its DLC characters has stalled to almost not even existing, like because of the pandemic. So I'm sure Sega is also facing extreme hardship in that regard. But I would like to see a new Sonic 3D game. It's just I'm not excited anymore for them because the past couple have been bad. Like Sonic Unleashed was legitimately starting something good. Sonic Colors took the good parts from that, added in its own bullshit, but it still had the good things. They knew what people liked, what was good from the previous one. Sonic Generations made a classic 2D Sonic game, and just that good thing that people liked from the previous two games, made that. Was it really well done? No, but like, they still knew what people liked. Then the next one they made was Lost World, and they completely rebooted what the gameplay was, and it was bad. Then we get Sonic Forces, which goes back to the good thing, but it's so terribly done and cheaply made that it's bad. Mm-hmm. So I'm not excited anymore. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's been. I think about this. It's been 9 years since the last Sonic game I actually really liked. Mania, I guess I did like Mania, but like I don't know if I want to count that or not. You know what I mean? That was kind of like a big celebration. You know, the literal fans coming to work for Sega to make the game. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not a 3D Sonic game either. You know, it's not like the next big Sonic game. It's been 9 years since a good Sonic game came out. In that regard, it's going to be 10 years when this game comes out. Is it going to be?
If that's not good,
that
then
was
you got
Sonic's
20th
anniversary.
You got another 3 on
Generations was the 20th. It's going to be. I don't know. That's why I kind of hope that they do a remake, because you're forced into doing something that already exists. So you're not going to do something crazy like we're going to let the fans create their own Sonic character, which. Again, I think they know children the best, because even though we hated that idea, people make Sonic OCs all the time. You know, like it's not out of the blue stupid. Like, yeah, and it made those people, I'm sure, very happy, and I'm glad they got their game. I'm glad they got their game. I'm glad.
We haven't got our game
for
though.
You. I haven't gotten my game. I've gotten fragments of what my game is and other games. I haven't gotten my game.
Collect them all, and you can make your own. There you go. Your own shard.
Exactly.
If you're getting shards, you can make your own crystal, your Chaos Emerald.
Exactly. You know, but like, if they remake Sonic Adventure, I mean, granted, yes, there's a lot of gameplay modes. There's Amy. There's the robot, which plays like the Tails levels in Sonic Adventure 2. So it's the aiming and the shooting. There's
auto
Knuckles levels,
just spamming,
holding down,
spamming.
Which there are games that do that type of gameplay well. Sonic Adventure did not. There's Knuckles, which is doing his bullshit. Tails, you can play as Tails, and it's like a race version of the Sonic levels. None of those were good, like at all. But so the remake would have to do those, and they'd have to try to find a way of doing them again.
And going back to the whole remake thing, another reason I think it would be smart is look how remakes are selling, like we were talking about earlier. Outside of, I think, the most recent one probably being Destroy All Humans, I don't know how well that sold.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Tony Hawk will sell gangbusters.
Yeah, but look at Resident Evil 2. I mean, Resident Evil 3 didn't do as hot, but it still did decent.
They did very, very, very well.
Yeah,
and those weren't necessarily graphical remakes.
I think SpongeBob did pretty good too, from what I've heard.
He did okay. Yeah.
So, I mean,
but it's also low budget and low expectations, so you get a higher reward if you keep your expectations low. So, but
and based on the Sonic movie, I feel like you just need to they need to knock it out the park.
They needed a game this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the movie, just to sell something.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the game.
I don't really know what you would make a game out of that, but
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Have a Sonic game. Or just, I mean, again, port your PS3 Sonic games on one collection of PS4. They could still be bad. You know what I mean? You don't need to do much if you really don't want to. But just put, because there's no way to play Sonic Colors in HD. That was a Wii exclusive. There was a DS version, which was a 2D game, which was not bad. That was in the era where, games had a handheld and a console version, and they were completely different games. Remember when they made Call of Duty games for the DS?
No, I just remember the Wii and Wii U versions.
There was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 were all on the DS.
That's not too surprising now that I think about it, because you have Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, which I heard is actually good for a mobile game. It plays well for a mobile game, in a shooter. But yeah, I think it'd be smart if they did a remake. But I'm assuming if it was back in 2019, they said they were working on another Sonic game, then
and also
I guess you have to hope that's just not bad. But I'd have just the history has shown that
yeah,
you don't have any expectations because it's not going to be anything special probably.
I keep thinking back to all those different gameplay types and how the people that played that game as a kid and really loved it, you know what I mean, and wants those, or be upset if you don't do them. And the game will also be very small if you just do the Sonic levels, right? But the reason why they did all that stuff is because moving to 3D means the levels need to be very long in order to have a sense of speed if you want to have them to go fast. So they couldn't have too many levels, so they just reuse the levels for these other gameplay modes. They reuse the geometry they made, and the enemy types and all that stuff. They just reuse the levels for the other gameplay modes. So, that's why they did it then. But now, even if it was, again, the same levels, obviously, they're reusing for each gameplay type, they still need to remake how those modes play. And do they actually want to do that? And if the answer is no, because I'm sure the answer is no, and they just want to make just Sonic, you know what I mean? They just make a new game.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's tough. People keep asking for Sonic Adventure 3, and they keep saying, no. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. It's because they don't want to have a bunch of different game modes. I mean, there was fishing in Sonic Adventure. That's what Big the Cat was doing. He's trying to fish to find a frog. That's not fun. That's not fun.
Yeah. Fishing's, normally not fun at all. In general.
Not in real life.
Not in real life.
Just like what is also not very fun in real life, let's round out the show with what we do for every news episode. We're going to be reading from the Sonic the Hedgehog official movie novelization, chapter by chapter. It's not very interesting, but we're going to keep doing it. We're on chapter 8 this time. As always, I am the narrator, and Devin is all of the voices.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yes, I have the first line here.
Let's begin.
All right.
Chapter 8.
One punch.
Sonic laughed.
You laid him out with one punch.
Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. From around the corner, one of Robotnik's drones began flashing red and blasting the walls with machine gun fire.
Jesus.
Must have been some kind of self-defense protocol, but Sonic could only shout,
"This feels excessive,"
as he was yanked from the floor.
"Stay behind me,"
Donut Lord said, and dragged Sonic behind a couch. Sonic's hyper-fast metabolism did quick work on whatever was in that dart. but
He ate some dirt.
dirt. That's what metabolism makes me think. But he still could only juice his speed for short bursts. It was now or never to try, though.
Can you believe Amazon is going to deliver packages with this thing?
Sonic called out as he collided with the drone and grabbed onto its shell like he was riding a mechanical bull. In a second, the whirling robot killer had spun him around and launched him across the room. His human friend yanked Sonic from the air and sprinted them both out to the lawn.
Oh, don't tell me that's all you got. I'm just getting started. Let me know if you want to go round 2 with the blue.
The hedgehog shouted and tried not to puke. Sonic still felt woozy as he climbed into the cab of Donut Lord's truck. I never really thought of it, but I guess, yeah, that's what you call the... Whatever. No, wait, it was Tom. His real name was Tom Wachowski.
Wachowski.
Forget that, this is Wachowski in the movie.
It's Wachowski, I thought. Pronounced the C.
Shaking my head. Italics are you.
Oh. Forget that.
He thought.
This guy is Donut Lord for life. Okay, I want answers, pal. Who are you? What are you?
Tom said as he steered the truck down the street away from his house. Behind them, a bunch of siren-wailing SUVs swarmed the house's front lawn.
I'm a hedgehog. I feel like that's obvious.
He said.
My name is Sonic, and I'm in big trouble. Oh, you're in big trouble? You're not the one who just punched some sort of government weirdo back there. You think you have the problems? I was just trying to live alone. Honest.
Sonic said.
But something happened and my powers caused the blackout. Who are you, like on a countdown to explode? No, dude, I'm just a teenager and everything in my life sucks right now. Well, I've been there.
Said Donut Lord sympathetically. That line wasn't in the movie.
But we can work it out together.
Sonic pleaded.
If you help me unscrew my life, I can do the same for yours. We've just got to get my rings back. Yeah, what is up with those things? I only saw a gold ring for a second, and it was insane. Rings are now all advanced cultures. Rings are how all advanced cultures travel between worlds.
Sonic said.
I was 2 seconds away from getting away from Earth into a safe planet, but rather than porting to the mushroom planet, when you shot me, my mind grabbed onto the weird pyramid building in San Francisco. Now the rings are on top of it. Wait, you mean the top of the skyscraper, the Transamerica building? You know where that is?
It was the best. I'm sorry. If this is the first time during this whole book that you've had constant lines,
yeah,
and you're just shouting them all. It was the best news Sonic had ever heard. It was the best news Sonic had heard in forever.
It's in San Francisco. We're moving there. Well, we're supposed to.
A look of panic overcame the man's face.
Look, this is the worst possible time for me to get myself in trouble, okay? You asked me to save your life, and I saved your life. Now please go find your rings and your mushroom land. Hopefully I'm about to wake up in some hospital room, and the doctor's going to tell me the colonoscopy was a big success, okay? So, goodbye.
He pulled over the truck and thrust open the door at Sonic's side. Speechless, the hedgehog stepped onto the road.
Okay, Donut Lord, goodbye. Goodbye. I read that as Sonic. Goodbye.
Yeah, that is weird. Who's saying what line? Okay, that's okay. He said to Sonic finally. They stared at each other for another moment.
Why aren't you leaving?
Sonic shrugged.
I don't know where San Francisco is.
It dawned on the driver what Sonic was hinting at.
No.
He said.
No way. I've already got enough trouble with the property values on my now very shut up house. I'm not becoming a fugitive to boot. If you can get to... Jesus. There's so many... I have to keep reading ahead to make sure it's the right person. Or if it's Sonic or Tom. You can get to my rings, you won't be a fugitive. You'll be a hero.
Sonic pleaded.
I can disappear an old Robotnik. Won't have a thing on you. Come on, Donut Lord. You were made for this.
Tom looked at Sonic and smiled. It was the first time anyone had really looked at him since Longclaw passed. Wait, what?
That's sad. Wait. Wait, what? Tom.
Yeah, what?
Tom looked at Sonic and smiled. It was the first time anyone had really looked at him.
Okay, so this is from Sonic's perspective, not from Tom's.
I want to say,
perspective.
like, throughout this whole book, there's been moments where I got kind of lost of who was talking. I thought it was just me, but I'm starting to realize I think it's the writing.
Like, this should have been written like, and I guess it would be something like, and Sonic saw Tom smile at him. It was the first time anyone had ever really looked at him since you know what I mean? Because okay, since Longclaw passed.
I can't believe I'm crazy or desperate enough to try this. Go ahead, get in the truck before I change my mind. But we're going to stick together. We're going to play it smart. I can drive through some forested back roads until we're out of Green Hills. I can't risk those drones hurting anyone in this town. Right on, Donut Lord.
Sonic was pumped.
But to be extra safe, let's see if we can shake things up by laying low somewhere. Oh, wait. Oh, it says Sonic said below, and I read that. But to be extra safe, let's see if we can shake things up by laying low somewhere. Okay, Sonic? And if I'm going to call you that, you got to try out Tom for once. Way past cool, Tom.
Sonic said.
You won't be getting any trouble from me. Like the kind of trouble that comes from you spying on us for years? I mean, I wouldn't call it spying.
Sonic said as the truck pulled back onto the road.
We were all just hanging out, only I wasn't invited and no one knew I was there.
Yeah, that is really creepy. I never really thought about what all the people's perspectives on learning that. They drove westward onto back roads with speed limits way too slow for Sonic. The whole concept of speed limits drove him crazy, and Tom was mostly chill. He listened to Sonic's whole story, his life with Longclaw, his non-relationship with his life with Longclaw, and his non-relationships with people in town. Sonic learned a few things too, and felt a little bad about razzing,
I think, yeah.
Razzing old crazy Carl. It was wild. He never realized how much he missed talking to someone until he couldn't stop sharing. But Sonic was getting itchy being trapped in that truck's little cab. Tom wouldn't stop at the world's largest rubber band ball, or the diner with the best pancakes in 3 states, or this deer that was giving him the stink eye. They did none of the fun touristy stuff. It was his first and only road trip after all. Finally into the evening, when Tom stopped at a remote filling station for gas to call Maddie from a supposedly untraceable payphone, Sonic couldn't take it anymore. He saw the allure of civilization and a bright neon sign that read, "The Piston Pit." It sounded loud and gross and amazing. Before he knew it, Sonic sped over to the roadhouse through a fleet of gnarly motorcycles parked out front. In minutes, Sonic was at a table in the middle of the In minutes, Sonic was at a table in the middle of the commotion of a loud biker bar. He wore a cowboy hat, an oversized flannel shirt, and a pair of sunglasses that he borrowed at hyperspeed from the various parking lot vehicles. He kicked his feet up on a table as Donut Lord barged in after him.
"Hello, fellow human,"
Sonic cheered.
"We're going." "No way, there's so much I've never done in my life. Now that I'm leaving Earth forever, I guess I missed my chance. Let me live a little. I want to order buffalo wings and guac." I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what that is, but I heard someone say it once. Funny word. Guac.
The Donut Lord looked at him for a minute with pity, and finally cracked a smile.
"Well, this looks like a place a man can get a lot of living done in a short period of time. I guess we can spare an hour." "You won't regret this,"
said Sonic.
"I'm sure I will."
End of Chapter 8.
Dun, dun, dun.
This book is only getting worse and worse.
Got to the bar already. I feel like we were still back at the house for like 5 chapters.
And we're halfway done, too.
Really? And we still have so much more to go.
Yeah, we're on Chapter 8 of... Or we did Chapter 8 of... 15? 15 and an epilogue. No, 16 and an epilogue. So we're technically halfway through, if you don't count the epilogue. I mean, I guess what happens after the bar, they get a fight on the road with the truck.
Yeah.
That turns into smaller vehicles.
They go to the house. the mother-in-law's house or whatever.
How did they get there? They don't have a vehicle.
They did have the car.
Oh wait, it was a convertible.
Yeah, it was
essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they drive to not mother-in-law, her Maddie's friends or Maddie's sister. I think it was sister lived there.
I guess it does kind of wrap up quickly because then they go to.
And
the fight scene ends at
teleport back to Green Hills.
Huh. Wow, we just summed up that movie in like 15 seconds.
It's
we should have done that for the Sonic review episode. Be like, yeah, and then that's what happened. Yeah,
that's what happened, guys. Did we like it? Yeah,
that was good.
Okay. End of episode.
30 seconds.
Instead, we watched it twice. That was the last time I ever saw a movie in theaters.
Yep. I remember how when we first, before we first saw it, we're like, once we see this, it'll be a post-Sonic world. Who knew that post-Sonic world would be so shitty?
Exactly. Remember when we were like, well, when I pitched, we'll see it once a week and just re-review the movie every single time.
We would have gone. I think, honestly, that would have been a better outcome for 2020 than what it is now, at least.
Also, I guess mini update. Today is August 20th, the day that we're recording this, and theaters open. AMC opened today, but not in Maryland, so we didn't see anything. Yeah. But if they finally do open here, then maybe we'll see a movie.
Maybe.
And you can find out if we do or not on the Sonic Movie Show's next episode or future episodes, which air every Sunday on this very podcast feed. If you don't like the place you found this podcast, you can check the show out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, which is going to transfer over to YouTube, which I don't know how that works.
Considering that
because we also have them up as YouTube videos.
I guess there'll be audio versions? I don't know. How would that work? Do they make channels for everybody?
Yeah, does it just port all the RSS feeds over to just...
We'll have to wait I think we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, and then we'll check in on it when we can...
We're also on Stitcher, I think. I actually don't know anymore.
iHeartRadio.
We're on Pocket Casts. We're not on iHeartRadio. No, we were never on iHeartRadio. I sent them stuff, and then they never put us up, so whatever. No one really uses that for podcasts. People do use Spotify, though. And people do use Pocket Casts. So if you like those places, we're on there. Once you've found your preferred place of listening to podcasts, you can go ahead and listen to the other older episodes of the show.
Why did you just randomly say that in a demonic voice?
Because I need to catch people's attention and let them know that an episode we referred to multiple times throughout this one was called Maker Sonic Game, where we pitched what our ideal Sonic game would be. So if you, as you were listening to this, you were like, what game do they actually want to make? It's over there. Devin's was crazy. Mine was realistic. And then let us know what you think about the show, as well as our other series, The Chronicles of Diesel. Let us know on Twitter. The show can be reached at Sonic Movie Show. I have been Ethan. I'm on Twitter at Ethan Absolutely. Devin is not on Twitter. And that's it. Bye.
Oh, come on.
He's on Twitter at CURSONA YouTube. Let us know what you thought of the Sega news today.
Sega.